Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up! I sell the products I used in this project and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. You'll see where to find that at the end of this video. So don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using the Floral Essence stamp set. I'm also using several punches. The perennial flower punch is one of them, and it coordinates with the stamp set, and if you buy them together as a bundle, you'll save 10%. I'm also using the sprig punch and the leaf punch and the story label punch. And I showed a similar card to this. I wanted to try it with the vellum paper. This is the Perennial Essence vellum paper, and you get 4 sheets of each color. We've got Petal Pink, Old Olive, and So Saffron. Those colors do go with the cardstock. This is the 6 colors that you get. And then the other side. And for this project, I selected these darker colors, and I'm using these wonderful envelopes and cards. These cards, aren't those beautiful? So you could actually put another card base underneath and maybe cut off the end a little bit, and you would have a card base, or you could put a single layer. And it would look beautiful. But these are the backgrounds that I picked for this one. When you're making this card, you do want to look at the back to make sure, because this back, the way I made it, is going to show. So we'll be putting it like that. I cut this so that it's just a little bit wider than the cutout portion, and it still fits in the top to bottom. But if you put the adhesive right on this edge, and then just center it on there. So this will be pretty for your inside. And when we adhere our flowers on here, it will hold it together a little bit more. I have filled these spritzers with about 4 drops of our Frost White shimmer paint, and then I've added alcohol to about this far up, and 10 drops of Mossy Meadow, and 10 drops of Blackberry Bliss in this one. And you do want to shake it up a lot. The shimmer paint is quite thick. It can clog up your spritzer if you don't really shake it up a lot. And I have gone ahead and sprayed it. This is the Blackberry Bliss on the Petal Pink, and so I think you can see a little bit of shimmer. I don't care if it's got different variations in the ink. I think it adds to your flowers. And this is the Mossy Meadow on the Old Olive. When you add ink to vellum, it doesn't dry really quickly. And I also wanted to point out that the vellum, let's see if I can see, the vellum actually has a dark side and a light side, and so this is a little bit darker. I think the Old Olive is a little bit easier. Yeah, that looks like a little easier to tell. So this is the light side, and the dark side actually looks a little shinier too, which probably means it takes even longer to dry. This is a little bit curled, so as I'm stamping it, I'm going to hold it flat. I'm using Blackberry Bliss and Mossy Meadow ink. I'm using this flower, and I want to stamp it 6 times. And because I'm going to be using the punch, make sure and have it aligned so that it will work with the punch. Your paper goes in this way, so this is the edge of your paper. So again, I'm going to let this dry for a while. And 2 of the leaves. And I will use the heat tool to dry it. The heat tool has 2 settings, a low and a high, a 1 and a 2. I've got it on the low setting. And you'll see the ink is shiny when it's wet, especially if you tip it and look for the shine. I'm stamping my greeting on a strip of Very Vanilla. And I used the Blackberry Bliss ink. And I've got a scrap of Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to punch out 2 pieces. And punch out my greetings. And I'm going to put adhesive on the back, on the top of my label. And I'm going to move it all the way up to the top. I want the tips here to be lined up, but just a little tiny edge. And put adhesive on the bottom. And put a little tiny edge on the bottom, again lining up those points. That little edge really adds a lot, I think. Okay, I'm going to punch out my flowers. In my other one, I showed you how to get a lot of texture and curl. I'm not going for the texture and curl so much for these, but I do get the sparkle and the curl from the inked vellum. And if you ever get it caught, just punch your way out. The leaf punch coordinates with this stamp set. I don't think it says so in the book, but it sure fits perfectly. And then the sprig punch. So I'm going to put my label on first with a couple of dimensionals. And this is going in the bottom right. And then I want my first sprig to be covering up the edge of this label right along the top. And I want to leaf up this way, pointing towards the upper right corner, and a leaf going this way, pointing to the bottom left corner, and a sprig up this way. And then I want to put flowers on here. I want to make sure and cover up the stems of those leaves. And if you wanted to actually put your flowers together so that you could rearrange them if you wanted to, it's okay with me. I did not use dimensionals here because I'm going to be using some gems that are that have a lot of depth to them. You could use these Perennial Essence floral centers on these, and they would look very pretty. To be honest with you, I didn't have enough for my whole group to have 3 of them each. I'm using the gold faceted gems. And these come backed with glue dots, so that makes it very easy. And that's it. Here's the web address for this project where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Home near the top of my page and you'll find lots of resources. Under Shop, I have tips for online shopping, frequent shopper rewards, and products I offer to help you stay organized. Share my Evernote notebook for a nominal contribution. It functions as a fully searchable catalog. I offer a cardstock sampler, taggers to help you identify those dies with lots of similar shapes, heavy-duty bags to store 12 by 12 and 6 by 6 paper, and a bow maker. Inspiration takes you to all my projects. If you're new to stamping, you might want to look at the basics. You'll find how to cut card bases and layers, what's special about Stampin' Up! Stamps, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find catalog tabs, labels, and case inserts, a practically free stamp pad storage solution, a basic toolkit, color charts by alphabet, color family, and rainbow order, products by color, and RGB codes, and you can take a tour of my craft wall. More organization means more time for crafting. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. The team is made of crafters who want to save money on the products they buy, share with a few friends, or to grow a business like mine. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on YouTube. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye.